All right. So, who are we talking to today?
Hi, my name is Dr. David Silverberg. I live at 6 Harness Lane, Marlboro, New Jersey.
All right. And I know you recently had your roof done, right?
Correct.
So, what were the biggest reasons, like the top two reasons why you chose GenSun to have your roof fixed?
Well, as you know, when you look into doing a roof, these things are obviously very costly. So I like to do my research. As a doctor, technically, scientifically, you like to know what's going on and, to make intelligent decisions. So I did my research on the company. It was a couple of companies. I called around, spoke to a bunch of people, and Jim and his group were the first to respond back. Um, Very attentive. Um, got pretty good reviews in what I had looked up. And as far as price goes, they were maybe a bit less, but around the same as the other companies. Some companies were a little bit too much, but sometimes you get what you pay for, so you always have to check out apples to apples. So that's probably why I initially started to use them. And then once I started contacting Jim back and forth, I knew that was going to be the right company because I had probably about 20 questions, maybe 25 questions. And before I could even ask any of my questions, he sent me these videos that were out of this world. They were fantastic. For me, I'm a visual person. So to technically see what they were going to do, how they were going to do it, what machines they were going to use, how many guys were going to come to the house. I mean, from A to Z, everything was spelled out so easy. Like I've never had an easier time do anything when it comes to construction with the house.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
always a disaster somewhere, somehow. Um, Everything was great. I can't even begin to tell you how easy it was.
So you ended up with a high level of confidence before they even started.
The highest level of confidence. I knew that it was going to be a top-notch job. And just as a side note, um, Jim had said, the manager of the group of the job going to get in touch with you. Not even 30 minutes later, Tom sends me a message, texts me, email me, asking me if I had any more questions. And I'm like, you guys pretty much answered every question I had. And these guys they said they'll be there at 8 o'clock in the morning. They were there at 7:45 a.m. And it happened to be a day, it was a couple of weeks ago, where it was so windy. I was worried for them initially. I'm like, I can't believe these guys are going to get on my roof with the
Yeah.
wind blowing. It was cold. So I asked Tom, I said, if you guys need to reschedule, I understand. I'm like, I don't want anybody getting hurt. He says, no, he says, these guys are so professional. They've done it in worse weather than this. If they go up and they feel something's wrong, they'll come down and tell you. And I'm like, okay, as long as you're okay with it, I'm okay with it. And there was 12 guys showed up and they were on my roof in about 10 minutes.
Wow.
Started just taking it apart. It was amazing. It was absolutely amazing.
So you were there for the whole process?
I was there in the morning, yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I kind of wanted to see, like you said, I'm a visual person, so I kind of wanted to see what was going to happen, what was going on, and I like to take pictures, so I was taking a couple pictures, and before and after. Yeah, I mean, it was absolutely great.
That's awesome. So the whole process in your experience when you talk to Jim and you talk to Tom, how would you rate that?
Uh, 20 out of 10.
Ah,
And I don't say that very easily because as you know, we have stuff around the house and you have construction guys come, guys don't show up, they don't call you back. Jim was on point every single time. Um, the videos were just, it was just a great thing. Like in my line of work, also, video is great because you can have the patient take it home with them, they can do their exercises. So as long as showing them what to do, it really benefits most people because we are visual people.
yeah.
And it was just fantastic. I still talk to Jim to this day, even the roof was 3 weeks ago. I still speak to him. And that just goes to show you how you become part of their family. They don't just do your roof and you're gone, you're done. They don't speak to you anymore. So I thought that was pretty cool too.
And so, did you meet with other roofers as well, just to get estimates from everybody and see?
Yeah, I spoke to a couple. I spoke to two other roofers, um, and to be honest, I just, sometimes you just get a feeling,
Yeah.
and most times your feeling is correct. And thank God this time my feeling was correct.
Yeah. What,
You know,
what did you feel like? What did you feel like the biggest difference between, when you talked to GenSun and you talked to the other roofers? What was it that kind of pushed it over the edge?
um, well, one of the other roofers, like when I was talking to him, it kind of seemed like he wasn't kind of there. It seemed like he had 20 other things on his mind, and I had to keep repeating my questions, and like he just didn't seem like it was very important to him.
Right.
The other roofer, good guy, good company, but I just the videos just got me.
Yeah.
Jim's videos and talking
Thorough.
through the videos,
Yeah.
it was just such a great way to explain. The estimate was easy. They actually saved me more money because when I initially looked at how much it was going to be per square foot, when I spoke to Jim and Jim showed me the video, they saved me even more money than I had even anticipated. So that was like a big bonus. That was great.
Yeah, and they didn't have to do that.
They didn't have to do that.
Wouldn't you
They didn't
wouldn't
have to
have
do that.
never known.
They didn't have to do that. They also Jim was also very knowledgeable to let me know that prices for materials were going to end up going up in February. And that if it's something that you want to do, you're better off doing it before the prices go up. He didn't do that either. He could have just kept going, whatever the person decides, I'll make more money.
Yeah,
But they didn't do that.
nice. And what did you think of the job the crew did when they were done?
Uh, I'm coming off and everything was fantastic because I hate to say it, everything was fantastic.
Yeah.
Um, I was worried, like I said, because the weather was so bad and the wind was blowing everywhere. And I'm like, my neighbors are going to be mad at me because there's going to be shingles everywhere down the block, two houses away, across the street. And let me tell you something, these guys cleaned up everything. I went to my neighbor's yard just to make sure because, I don't want to be that guy where, the stuff left on the neighbor's yard.
Yeah, yeah.
I couldn't find a shingle. I couldn't find any garbage.
Wow.
That truck sitting right in front of my driveway. Everything was in there. I mean, everything was like tip top shape. I mean, the only thing I expected to see was a bow on my roof. Other than that, I mean, literally the cleanup was fantastic. The guys were all great. They were all great. Nobody was taking a break on the side. I mean, they worked and worked and worked. They had it done in less than half a day. And
Wow.
that's not easy work. I mean, that's hard work. 12 guys up there almost at all times. It was so synchronous that they had guys bringing stuff down, guys bringing stuff up, bringing it down, bringing it up, because I was trying to watch them to see how they did it all.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And it was great. It was great. I sent Jim a message saying thank you so much, and Tom, everybody was great. I don't know what other adjectives I could use to describe how easy and how great the whole thing was, but it really was fantastic.
And did they do everything they said they were going to do?
They did everything they said they were going to do and more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like you expected to see some rubbish somewhere. I mean, some shingles or sheeting or something.
Listen, and you know what? Even if that was, you could expect that with
Yeah, yeah,
this type of job being that high up in the air and the wind being as bad as it was. I expected I would have to clean up after they left.
yeah, yeah.
And I walk my dog every day, and they go outside, go to the bathroom. I look around, I'm like, I can't believe they got every last stitch.
Yeah.
And Jim did say, by the way, you know, they clean up very well, but if you happen to see little pieces here and there, just know that they tried their best. And I'm like, I had nothing to pick up.
Uh,
So I was
Other than
very
the
happy.
dog.
Right. I have enough with the two dogs.
So, with all that said, uh, would you recommend GenSun to family, friends, strangers, neighbors?
I highly would recommend them. I have already Jim's number to two of my friends already. One needs windows, and the other is looking into a roof as well. So, and I texted Jim that. So yes, I would highly recommend them. If anybody wants to speak to me about it, they can certainly call me, text me. Jim's got my number. But yeah, I mean, great company, um, great people. Like I said, nothing to say at all.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much for spending a little bit of time with us.
I appreciate it for having me.
All right.